So if you already see that this TwitchCon is heading a specific direction, why won't you like beef up the security? I'm a bird, I'm a bird. This video is made by Moonjin. TwitchCon 2024's VTuber drug party disaster.
Oh boy.
So just a little bit of context. A lot of VTubers, they are afraid to go to the conventions because a lot of VTubers don't want to expose who they are. And when they do go to conventions, they do rely on people not revealing their identity. It's a big situation of like they have to trust their community, they have to trust the people who are there to, you know, be respectful.
TwitchCon is the biggest streamer convention held yearly. It's also ridiculously expensive, but guys, don't worry, it's worth.
Did the prices go up or something?
I don't know.
I don't remember the prices being so high. Hold on.
Weren't they like $50 or some shit? Or like it's like free?
Yeah, the prices went up. So in 2019, it was 3-day plus party, $199. So 2021 was canceled. 2022, 1-day ticket $129, 2-day and 3-day tickets will cost $199 and $220. 2023, $149 for a 1-day and $229 for a 3-day pass. So they are hiking up the prices.
Yeah, and not only that, last year was horrible as well. Didn't someone get very hurt?
That was the year before, like not last year, but the year before. So where she jumped down and she actually suffered a her baby.
Oh my god.
So that was already confirmed. She did lose her baby.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Worth it. I mean, you get to meet your role models, your idols, the people you look up to, your favorite.
Maybe not that guy.
No.
Streamers. But if you happen to go as the streamer, it's even better because you're getting to meet up with your wonderful fans and your coworkers. You also get to be directly harassed on stream by someone trying to get some clout. Yes, like, this popular streamer is getting his nipple kissed.
Like, dude, I would throw hands if someone does that. Like, I would actually throw hands.
Honestly, I would too.
Like, I already had that experience. Like, I did used to attend conventions as a cosplayer. And that is on its own made me not want to attend a single convention for so many years now.
Without his consent. That's right. TwitchCon, everybody. Make sure to come next year. Yeah, there was a lot of harassment this year. It was a disaster, guys. It was so many streamers got harassed.
Like, kick streamers when they're literally just to harass Twitch streamers and to get content out of it. I'm not even surprised with kick streamers.
Harassed. People ran after them, trying to make their own content. It was really pathetic. But ignore all that, it's just noise. As we know, the convention itself is nothing more than an excuse to just go to San Diego with all your fellow streamers and party like there's no...
Also, who just wakes up one day and... dude, let's go to San Diego and party!
Oh, God.
I feel like maybe I'm too much of a recluse to understand this.
Yeah, me too.
Tomorrow. This isn't just exclusive to TwitchCon. Every convention kind of works that way. As a streamer, the real way to grow your network, meet new friends, and create new business opportunities doesn't happen in the convention itself. It happens behind closed doors in the parties or hotel rooms, but we're not here to talk about that.
Ooh.
There are so many parties and mixers and lunches and dinners. It's ridiculous. But now imagine being a smaller streamer and getting access to a party that is highly exclusive, with top DJ performers and an RSVP list that is checked on a case-by-case basis to see whether you're famous enough to attend and you somehow get approved. You'll meet large creators, successful creators, creators that you might be a mega fan of. This is a dream come true.
So yeah, so far sounds good, right? Hosted by Blurb, sponsored by Meld. Super exclusive. You have to have a specific number. You have to have a badge. Right? So far sounds good, right?
Sounds good.
You would think, okay, I'm gonna be safe there. As a VTuber, maybe a place I can actually attend and feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
True. And I'm sure you'd be expecting the party of a lifetime. You surely wouldn't be expecting someone to spike your drink with a very powerful drug when you're not looking, to the point where you can't even move your lips at some point because your entire body is limp. You also wouldn't be expecting the fire marshals to show up because somehow this exclusive party with very limited space got overcrowded. And finally, you also wouldn't be expecting the party organizer to find your post on Twitter complaining about this and double down while being extremely defensive and making a complete clown out of himself.
So Blurb, not only were quote-unquote defending themselves, they were also extremely condescending towards the victim.
That's ridiculous.
Towards the person who actually went through this. And they were saying stuff like, oh, no, there was a lot of security. We had security guards there. Well, how did it end up being from exclusive to the fire marshal being there?
Yeah, the fire marshal wouldn't be called if it wasn't overcrowded.
Yeah, these things actually happened. It's a catastrophe. So let's talk about it. So as I mentioned, when it comes to conventions, it's really just all about the parties happening around it. But when you go to a convention as a VTuber, it's not really as straightforward as a normal streamer going there. One of the main reasons why they are VTubers in the first place is for anonymity. They want to keep their real identity secret. So
I already mentioned this before. Obviously, not all of the VTubers completely hide how they look, right? But there are VTubers who are not comfortable with your face, and you know, it's alright. So it just like you're basically putting your trust to an event, into the security, and you just get like shat on.
So they'll either go there virtually, meeting up their fans through a screen, or they'll go physically, but make sure to wear a mask or a cap or sunglasses or something to stay incognito, and only take off these things with people they trust, with friends.
And this is pretty much what you guys will see then doing as well. Like, old jokes, giggles aside, when we will go, we will also not be fully out there, right? We will have face masks. I will even have gloves, but that's because of my health issue. Actually, I can't even imagine, like this is just blowing my mind that like who are such scumbags. Plus, on top of that, like COVID is still a thing. Getting sick is still a thing.
To understand their situation. This is why they can't just go to any party at TwitchCon, right? Because not all of them understand their precarious situation of having to stay anonymous. People could be streaming there, taking pictures, whatever. They have to go to a party that understands privacy. That's where this highly exclusive party came in, called the After Party Blurp X Melt. It was hosted on Thursday, September 19th from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. It was a private event. You would have to register on this website and hope that they approve you because they would look at everyone from a case-by-case basis. And yes, the amount of followers you had and the amount of viewers you would get played a big role in whether you would get accepted or not. There were exceptions of
Again, fully understandable for an event like that, right? But I keep the party exclusive. So it's being limited to how many numbers you have. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, me neither.
Even though I did see some people complain about this part too. But I think this is the only part that has no problem with it.
Of course, just like any party, but you definitely had to be a Twitch partner minimum. Because let's see the description. It says, the TwitchCon partner after party, come hang with some of the top creators and brands in the industry. Enjoy music with Twitch's top DJ creators in the main lobby or relax on the rooftop terrace to network and meet other creators and brands. And then they add, we have zero tolerance for physical, verbal, or sexual harassment. This includes...
Yeah, if only they actually held their word with that.
Yeah, if only.
Includes non-consensual touching, violence, discriminatory language, or any behaviors that have a negative impact on the experience or the physical safety of other guests. If
So basically these rules is aka don't be a jackass.
a problem or concern arises, guests are encouraged to locate a staff member for assistance. While on the dance floor, we encourage guests to keep conversations to a minimum and phones in their pockets. Just keep this paragraph in mind because it'll be even funnier later, okay? So from the
Okay.
rules, it says
Memorizing.
21 plus must show ID at the door.
Okay.
No streaming inside the venue. This is a very important
Understandable.
thing for VTubers who want to stay anonymous and not get caught in someone's stream. And plus ones are allowed, but must have their own accepted RSVP as well.
Okay.
Which should be a good thing
Okay.
because it means that no one random is going to be showing up as a plus one either. Everyone is going to be vetted manually. Keep all of this in mind for later. So this is hosted by Blurp and Meld Studio. Meld Studio is nothing more than the sponsor Blurp was partnering with, but this is really Blurp's party. This wasn't really the first time Blurp had made a TwitchCon type party. He had made 2 last year during TwitchCon 2023 in Las Vegas, and they were big successes as far as I can tell. The first one being a masquerade event, and the second one being a paid VIP party. So Blurp is someone with an established reputation. This is why people had high expectations and so many high-profile VTubers went there. It unfortunately ended in complete disaster. Now this all started when Hades, a VTuber from the Mythos agency, made one tweet
I really feel
saying,
bad for
"I
her.
think I was drugged at the bar." She then clarified with this tweet saying, "An update. I am awake now. We don't know what actually happened to me last night other than I just wasn't okay. I was in no state to go to the hospital as I don't have insurance, and so I did not receive any tests to see if I had something in my system. We only suspect my drink may have been spiked due to how sick and horrible and drunk I felt after only 2 drinks even 3 to 4 hours out from leaving the bar. I felt very wrong and overall not okay. I was in a terrible headspace and honestly should not have been tweeting, and I apologize for anyone I may have worried. Thankfully, my friends took care of me, so I am safe no matter what caused me to feel that way."
I actually think it's a good thing she tweeted.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's like a safety net so people know that something was not okay. Because sadly, even after this, with witnesses and the tweet beforehand, people were still, some really disgusting people were still saying she's lying. And it's just repulsive.
What the hell?
So this probably happened in a bar around downtown, not too far from where TwitchCon was being held, and it's a very unfortunate reality. This is why you have to keep your eye on your drink at all times, and even then, it's not enough sometimes. That's why you're meant to be with friends, and that's exactly what Hades had done. She was with a bunch of different VTubers from Mythos, and they were able to get her out of there safely. And thankfully, nothing crazy had happened. But then, all of a sudden, Imuki, a different VTuber, quote tweeted that update from Hades and said this: "I was also roofied last night at a VIP party. I'm safe and okay, had a wonderful group of friends to help me. Stay safe, gamers, and cover your drinks." Now all of a sudden, this isn't just some random bar, this is a VIP party. So as many people were wondering what the hell had happened exactly,
Sadly, I already know some information on this. They were supposed to provide drink covers. This specific event, it had drink covers, which they did not distribute. Sadly, at events like this, it's really important to have drink covers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And
Yeah.
just to clarify, it's not only women who it happens to. As a guy, should have drink covers too.
Mookie adds this: "I've been roofied before, so I knew the signs. I couldn't move my entire body for a good 40 minutes. Thank for the friends I have, but genuinely Blurp for having drink covers and not giving them out. I'll talk about it when I get home more, but I'm just shaken up and pissed my friends had to carry my limp body back to the Airbnb when we just wanted to have a nice party. Do better, Blurp." So first off, really unfortunate that you got roofied before and know exactly how it feels. And second off, she was directly saying that this was Blurp's fault for not handing out drink covers when they were already present at the party. Not only is this a massive accusation,
Like, that is a really wild to me. So, if as an organizer, right, you organize for the drink covers, why didn't you make sure that they get the stream? It just raises more and more questions on, like, what was Blurp thinking?
What was Blurp thinking? What was security doing? Because these guys are hired. So what kind of security company did they hire? Did they skimp out on security?
But, like, on top of that, so this event was held already after the disaster that was happening on TwitchCon itself, like with streamers being harassed. So if you already see that this TwitchCon is heading a specific direction, why won't you, like, beef up the security?
we also confirmed she was talking about the highly exclusive after party hosted by Blurp. Things were getting serious now. A couple days later, after Mookie went back home and had time to process, she finally posts her statement. Here's what it had to say. My statement about being roofied at the 2024 Friday Twitchcon Blurb VIP party, trigger warning. To start with, this was mostly a VTuber party full of larger creators who were not wearing their usual facial disguises and coverings, meaning we all thought it was a safe space to vibe and meet other creators. And it was, for a little. About 2 hours into it, the party started getting a bit more crowded, and I remembered thinking I didn't see this many people on the guest list we all registered for. In other words, the security to a VIP party was shit. One of my close friends noticed their water tasted funny and only took a few sips but started feeling off, which I knew was most likely a low-grade roofie. While waiting for their Uber with them, I notified the security guard, who yelled at us for taking up the walkway, shaking my head, that she was most likely roofied. Shortly after she was picked up, it hit me hard. Now for context, I have been roofied before, so I know how it feels, but this was something much more severe. Once I started feeling heavy and unable to read well, I immediately ran to the bartenders, who I befriended, to let them know I'd been roofied and to take precautions. I was informed at that point that they had drink covers and were not handing them out. My friends, thank God they were there, had to carry my limp, hyperventilating body out of the party, which was soon blocked off by the fire marshals for overcrowding. For about 2 hours after that, I could only move my mouth, mumbling, and my eyelids. My point in this is that it was a VIP party with major creators there who felt it was a safe environment to demask. They had drink covers and did nothing, and security was shit and started letting God knows who in after a few hours. They had a responsibility to take care of us and did not. My con was ruined, and I spent the rest of it shaken up and scared to drink anything but water. Do better, blurb. So this wasn't just a roofie, this was one hell of a drug. Something way stronger than the usual. And I think
No, so with the roofies, you do have like different potencies of it, sadly. It just like, how do you read this? And still, as the organizers will be not like, no, we had good security.
I think regardless of your gender in this situation, I'm sure you can imagine how scary it is to only be able to move your eyelids and your lips barely, while the rest of your body stays limp. This is horrible, a complete horror story. But we were only left with more questions. How does a VIP party go so out of control so quickly? What were the fire marshals here for? Well, Blurp felt the need to reply to this post because it went viral. Here's what he had to say. Hey, Emily, great start. Already missed.
Yeah, like, they cannot even spell her name.
What the hell, man?
Like, imagine you find out that the party you organized went through something horrible, right? Even if you don't give a shit, right? Even if you're a complete scumbag, you don't give a shit. Even then, as a PR statement and as a PR response, you cannot take a split second to even type out the name right.
Spelling her name. This is the second case we've heard of someone that got their drink spiked, and we're so upset that happened to you and so glad you're recovering okay. Unfortunately, we did not have any drink covers for the party, nor did we communicate that we will have any, but at future parties we will be sure to provide them. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you through this. Then Imuki replied. She said, first, it's Imuki. I'm not okay, and even without the drink covers, it was your responsibility at a VIP invite-only party with several big names to make sure the only people allowed in were on the list. Drink covers or not, this is on you. Blurpy did not let this die here. No, he had to reply again, saying, sorry Imuki, it auto-corrected. Everyone that got in was manually approved by us and our sponsors. The venue capacity was 350 and we only let 325 on the roof, and at one point 15 had to wait for others to leave to get in. There were no +1s or otherwise that were allowed in without an invitation. We denied nearly 500 plus RSVPs for the event. There was security at check-in to get wristbands, security to get onto the elevators, and security to get onto the roof itself. We absolutely agree we should have had drink covers for all guests. As we stated in our direct message to you, we'd be happy to discuss options to make this right to you and any other guests that were affected.
So, after listening to the statement, so follow-up questions. As the organizer, why aren't you there at the location? As the organizer, you would have seen all the shit going down and you could have probably prevented most of the shit happening. If you even bother to be there, if your company's reputation is dependent on how this event goes, why the hell were you not there? Like, this genuinely raises more and more questions. Or at least a higher up in your place being there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so baffling to me.
Now, I don't know about you, but this response does sound pretty damn passive-aggressive to me. And it's not the kind of reassuring statement you're meant to give to someone who just got roofied at one of your own parties. Oh yeah, we manually approved every guest on the list. We had security everywhere. Okay, man.
So, if every single person was approved, was that the person from the list?
Was it multiple people? Like what Cosmic said, the person that roofied them hasn't been caught and is still out there.
And that's great. Now, how did a bioweapon make it through your security so easily? A drug that can knock every part of your body out for 2 hours or more. Good to know that you manually approved the person who did this coming into your party. Wonderful job. Yep. This only made him look like a clown. I mean, come on, what kind of response is that? There's also, of course, no mention of the fire marshals and the overcrowding incident, or the fact that she wasn't the only one who got roofied. Oh, and let's not forget how he ended his statement. We direct messaged you, we'd be happy to discuss it there. So in other words, we'd love...
Three people got roofied.
Oh.
Remember the person that was talking saying that, oh, one of my friends said the water tasted funny.
Yeah.
Took a few sips from it, and then they said that they start feeling it out of nowhere as well. So 3 people got roofied.
Yeah, you're right.
Yo, that's fucking wild, bro. Nah, you good.
And the fact that they're trying to quickly like direct it into DMs, like, bro.
For this to quiet down and isolate you so people stop talking about this. This is terrible. I mean, at this point, you're probably wondering who the hell is Blurpy anyway? And he's just some dude who made this app called Blurp for streamers. It allows you to play sounds during a stream to interact with the streamer and use custom AI text-to-speech voices. Blurpy is pretending like everything is going just fine, posting this on September 27th, asking, hey, who wants a follow? And the tweet before that being, great party, great TwitchCon, thank you all for...
No way they posted that after this. I cannot imagine how tone deaf and stupid they are. So you find out this happened at your party and you're like, hey guys, great party. Bro, what? You capping right now, right?
Coming. This post in particular has many replies angry and disappointed over what had happened in the party. And what's interesting is that you find Blurpy contradicting himself. For example, someone replied with, cultivating a community sounds wonderful. Will those communities be protected from getting roofied at rooftop parties or maybe actually see the drink covers that were provided and never handed out? And Blurpy replies with this, saying, we've heard of only one case of streamer that may have had their drink spiked. What? Have you personally heard of any others? This is interesting because she had posted this 2 days before he had posted that reply, calling out Blurp saying she got roofied. So it's either Blurpy doesn't really know how to count or there are more and more people coming out with roofie stories than he can keep track of. Now, Falside also made a video on the situation and reached out to Redclaw, another VTuber that was at the party. He confirmed some pretty concerning details. Like, for example, security wouldn't look at the bags of anyone entering the party. And this doesn't surprise me one bit.
If we go to a VIP party, if we go to one, and I see security not checking bags, we're leaving. You know that, right?
So that's supposed to be at a party regardless. If you're going to a party like this, if VIP or not, checking bags is basic security.
How the QR codes you were given if your RSVP was accepted could be reused, so you could just send them to your friends and they could just reuse them infinitely. How the fire marshal
Wait.
Security wouldn't look at the bags of anyone entering the party, and this doesn't surprise me one bit. How the QR codes you were given if your RSVP was accepted could be reused, so you could...
You're kidding me.
Could just send them to your friends and they could just reuse them infinitely. How the fire marshal actually did show up because the overcrowding became unbearable. And finally, how in last year's Las Vegas TwitchCon, there was a concerning group of people that would prowl around women and harass them, and now he had seen the same group at Blurp's party this year as well. Overall, this situation is a complete and utter disaster. Every measure of security during this event was clearly just there for show. But I think the worst thing here, other than the fact that Blurp doesn't really seem to care, is that we still have no idea who caused this. This was a very exclusive VIP party full of top creators, most notably VTubers from Twitch. There was an entire RSVP list with a manual review process. Which one of these people snuck in with an extremely strong drug and got out without being caught? We don't know. And you sure as hell won't catch me drinking anything if I ever go to TwitchCon and hang out in a party. I don't know if Blurpy, whatever the hell his name is, ends up making a party in TwitchCon 2025, which will also be in San Diego, but I sure as hell hope that the security in that event will be more than just a decorative prop. Please stay safe out there, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Whenever.
Good video. But all I'm gonna say is, never going to TwitchCon.
Never.
It honestly feels like it's getting worse and worse every fucking year.